So let's get into it, everybody. Our first speaker today is Vox Angelus. And Vox is a visionary author, speaker, invocational sound artist, spiritual medium, and healer, and a direct embodied conduit for the consciousness of Elohim. Surrounded by angels since she was a little girl, she has always experienced them as guides, teachers, and protectors. She is Her vocal transmissions are alchemical invocations that help you unravel and release emotional strongholds, perceived challenges, energetic distortion, and imbalance, and the internalized influences that are keeping you from moving forward in alignment with your soulful path and purpose. This is the art of undoing, using encoded frequency, energy, resonance, and vibration as a catalyst for evolutionary and revolutionary transformation, spiritual DNA, and cellular activation. She's presented at many summits, conferences, TV, radio shows, Disclosure Fest, Portal to Ascension, of course, Shift Network, Awakening World, and so much more. And she is one of the founding members of the Sonic Devas, a sound healing orchestra featuring women who are world-renowned musicians, sound healers, and wellness leaders. And you might have seen Vox on Portal to Ascension doing her transmissions, and she's also now moving into presenting as well because she channels, connects to many different beings. She was on our Dragons conference when we did that last year, and today she's going to do a presentation followed by a transmission. So the experience today, informational, emotional, and quite experiential. So let's go ahead and bring Vox on. Hey, Vox, welcome.
Hey there. For some reason, I just do not have a camera, and I had gone out and come back in, but I have an image, but it's not showing there. So if if you don't mind my disembodied voice, I'm good.
Let's. What we could do is I could put an overlay of a journey with the galaxy while you're speaking.
Sure, there we
In
go.
the
That
background,
that
right?
that works well.
Let's do it. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Take it away.
Okay, so hi
Hey, good to
everyone.
hear you too. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Vox. Love you.
I love you too. Hi everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. And as Neil had stated, my spiritual name is Vox Angelus Deus, which means voice of the angel of God. And I'm a pure and embodied conduit of the what Elohim calls the eternal omnipresence God. And it's the collective consciousness of Elohim. So my seraph is my true nature beyond this physical form. And as an angel of Elohim, we're known for our powerful harmonic tones, and it's often described as singing the universe into existence. So if anyone has seen my work in the past, I do speak, sing, sign, draw, write, what Elohim calls the alchemical light language. So my physical presence and voice carry the celestial sound signatures and alchemical keys of what they call sacred design and creation. And from that, I translate all of that into encoded alchemical light language that can take many forms. So my ability within the matrix of this construct is to perceive the holographic streams of conscious light, symbols, and geometric forms that serve as the elemental building blocks of all physical and etheric structures. So I'm able to reconfigure and repattern these constructs. And this allows me to facilitate healing experiences, initiate transformative alchemical processes, alter reality, and support spiritual evolution and, of course, the ascension of humanity and our earth. So I work directly with and through the Elohim as a creator and messenger, and recently unveiled the full spectrum of my seraphic gifts. And that came after much preparation throughout my life. Ever since I was a little girl, I had been told that at that time, more simplistically, that you are an angel. I didn't even know what that meant when I was a kid. And they've been telling me I'm seraphim for many years now. And finally they just came and said, you cannot receive, your full seraphim aspect if you are not willing to accept that this is the truth of who you are, and you need to surrender to that. So I surrendered to that truly within like just really the last year and a half. So I came into this life with abilities that, a lot of people say I was fully awakened, when I came on this path. And there's still many things that are waiting to be revealed throughout my life, and that is really in right timing. And I remember my birth. That was one of the key things I thought about in later times. I was kind of like, okay, what you're telling me is true, because I starkly remember my birth. I was standing with a group of people within a white space, and they were expressing gratitude for my willingness to, step back into human form. And there was a very specific purpose for that. And then there was a flash of light, and I was fully ensouled within this small body making its way down the birth canal. I still remember the pressure of being squeezed down the birth canal. And I immediately forgot most of that when I was born for quite some time. But I've always been surrounded by angels, and they've served as my teachers, guides, and protectors. And when I was a little girl, they would even play with me. And I would not speak English with them. I didn't know at the time that that was light language. And there were lessons throughout my life that served as great teaching moments. And I remember 3 times that the angels saved my life, and then many other divine interventions. And so throughout my life, I've had just many terrible human moments of knowing, I do not belong here, or feeling displaced and desiring to go back home. I know I've heard that from other people as well. And because I have a very clear vision of the home that I long for. And I also have a very clear vision of remembrance of what I've done, prior to coming into this physical form, and even at the beginnings of creation. So my reality of Elohim is that I am working through Elohim. It's as if we are one vessel. And my work is guided by Elohim. I operate as both a creator and a messenger, and I apply the gifts I carry from my seraphim aspect of, working with light, sound, and frequency and divine will as these living forces that I now embody. And I use this to assist humanity's evolution and to hold a frequency that activates others within my presence. So my role is to help humanity heal, to shift their consciousness, and to remember their true and divine nature as an individuation of the eternal omnipresence, God. And that is truly my key role. It's very simplistic, really. It is one of remembrance of the truth of who it is that you are. Now, the Elohim are a collective of cosmic creator beings, and we're sometimes referred to as the architects of form. And so in earlier times, many of us had been called creator gods. And the term Elohim is not singular, it's plural. So we're collectively referred to as Elohim. The collective Elohim includes the angelic kingdom or realm. And as Seraph, I'm what you may call a throne angel or of the highest choir. We don't actually use those terms necessarily. They've really been adopted from humanity. So if we use the analogy of an umbrella, the top is the eternal omnipresence God, and directly below would be the throne. So the seraphim are often described as the highest choir of angels and beings of divine fire who surround the throne. And we're called the burning ones because we carry the frequency of divine will, love, and truth in its most purified form. So when I asked one time to see my true form, and it wasn't that long ago, I saw myself quite literally as fire. And it was actually a bit terrifying to recognize myself as what was shown, because it was true recognition of that. And along with that, it comes another area of revelation and remembrance. So, however, I'm also able to take on a human form from that, and I'm within a human form in this lifetime. The throne, it's not to be interpreted as a physical seat. It's a divine frequency or state of cosmic authority. And that represents a sacred function and emanation of divine will. So it's an energetic station of sorts within a hierarchy of creation. So this is upheld by the seraphim who embody and transmit the frequency into form, the frequency, the throne frequency, as it were. And we emit divine will as the very foundation of cosmic law and creation. So seraphim are active co-creators as architects, messengers, and warriors of light. So it depends on what is required within a given realm of assignment. So in this physical life, I refer to these assignments as my missions or heavenly mandates that are given to me through Elohim, and they come through Elohim from the will of the eternal omnipresence, God. So when I receive a mission directive, I shift into a dual state and remaining in human form while simultaneously embodying my seraphim consciousness through a non-physical energetic body. And this allows me to engage with and fulfill the mission from within both realms at once. There are no limitations within time and space, so I can immediately arrive at my destination. I've had missions on and off world, with all missions focused on the assistance of humanity. And I'll be sharing a video actually today of a mission which took place Thursday evening within a circle of my mission cohorts. And these are powerful women that I was guided to gather into a collective called Daughters of Eternal Light. So per Elohim, they serve as pillars of light as I do the work that I'm guided to do. Now, the human template was designed with sacred intention, but it was interfered with through time. And this is what I will share about, kind of shifting briefly into the Anunnaki, because that's always that's been a question now that I've been entertaining. So from a higher dimensional or soul level perspective, the Elohim and the Anunnaki operated along different levels of the same continuum of creator intelligence. That's kind of the way I like to put it. So the Elohim represent a higher divine order as a pure emanation of the consciousness of eternal omnipresence, who design and seed life through sacred intention. The Anunnaki and other entities as well are individuated and descended expressions of this creative force who engaged more directly with the denser realms of physical reality. So they were part of multiple creator lineages, some remaining in full alignment with divine will, but others diverging or descending into more experimental or self-serving agendas. So those that diverged, I will say, those that diverged, intervened, or altered and suppressed divine design to maintain control or experiment with evolution. And these distortions created overlays of fear, separation, and limitation within the human consciousness and DNA. And this led to the fall of the original divine awareness. But eventually, they chose to defer to divine will. So eventually they allowed humanity to continue evolving under the original edict of free will within this world and left. So I came into human form to help, as I stated, realign humanity with their birthright, that they may know the truth of who and what they are. So humanity has a very unique position. As a human being, you carry not just a spark of the eternal omnipresence, God, source, creator, whatever name you wish to choose, but also the potential to awaken to the conscious creative capacity of the Elohim that resides within you. And this means you're not a creation. You're not only a creation, you are also a creator. You are evolving to become a sovereign architect of your own reality. You're remembering how to use your personal gifts for the benefit of self and others. So throughout my life, Elohim's always said, you're just like Jesus. And I was raised religiously, and I was like, there's that thought, I can't be like Jesus. What are you talking about? Right. But that's not really what they meant. I mean, Jesus himself had stated, you're just like me. We're no different. The only difference is that Jesus and those who are awakened and beginning to embody their true state of being are truly awakened and embodying. I mean, they are that spark of eternal omnipresence, but they're awakening to that they're God within physical form. That is our birthright. We are the creators of our own reality when we are in physical form. So in essence, when we can truly accept that and operate from that is not an idea, but to operate from that, to allow that God force to express from within us, then everything else that is not in alignment simplistically falls away. And then we have a responsibility. We can create not only our own reality, but we can, as a collective, truly create a new world, a new earth. So all things in existence are expressions of this eternal omnipresence, God. And it is the degree of consciousness, coherence, and alignment with divine will that determines how that intelligence is embodied and enacted. So everything is a manifestation of the eternal omnipresence God. There is nothing outside of it. So the Elohim exists within humans because they created the human template, and their essence, codes, and consciousness are imprinted within it. Remember, Elohim they're the builders, they're the architects, and we are in essence the creators because we're created by God to do just that. So God is working through us, through all angels, really, as well as the messengers, as the creators. So that's just putting it very simplistically. So the Elohim then exists within humans because we created the human template, and our essence, codes, and consciousness are imprinted within it. So Elohim represents specific conscious aspects of creation itself, who consciously shape, design, and activate the templates through which life manifests. Now, in closing, the Elohim are the origin architects of humanity who helped design the original human template, not just the physical form, but the energetic, spiritual, and light body architecture that defines what it means to be a divine human. And humanity was imbued with free will, creative power, and capacity for self-awareness, and seeded with sacred codes within the DNA referred to as the divine blueprint. So these codes carry the potential for full remembrance of your true and divine nature, and as an individuation of the eternal omnipresence God within physical form. So because you were created through the Elohim as instruments of the eternal omnipresence God, their essence is part of you. Your soul remembers its lineage and origin through the Elohim, as your light body carries frequencies seeded by their intention and design. This is why so many people are now feeling an affinity and connection to the Elohim. And as you spiritually awaken and shed the illusions of separation and limitation, you begin to align with the Elohim frequencies activate dormant codes that were placed within your DNA or soul blueprint. And remember that you too are an infinite creator. So that's what I have to share with you today about the Elohim. And then I guess we're going to play a video of our latest mission. So there we go. So I was going to say, I do these transmissions and channel, it comes through me. I'm a conduit for this alchemical light language, and alchemical light language carries all of these codes and so forth to initiate specific things. And I utilize this alchemical light language and energy within these missions that I do as well. So we'll go ahead and have play that video.
Let's see the rift. Ipe kera beskugia tatiare tera ka kukunje champatera kukunje ichapa ira ka iro kukunje chakatera Chicken dear cuckoo bujere, cuckoo bujere, capaeta. Shall get here a cuckoo here, capaeta. Shall get a cuckoo, cuckoo, head on, or I shall get it. Welcome, daughters of the eternal light. We thank you for answering the call to be of service. We are complete. The mission has been successful. I am back.
Beautiful. Thank you, Vox.